moving this way. That's what the United States is saying for the fossil fuel companies. The United States came to the COP last week, and it was great. And they were like, we have so many things going on. They wanted to reduce methane, stop deforestation, make sure that they were actually cutting their emissions, etc. And they were talking all this gold about net zero, but when push comes to shove, the United States is always leaving room for the fossil fuels. And this is why today, the United States has won the fossil of the day. They are allowing more oil and gas leases. They are drilling on public lands and allowing more companies to come in, and overall being very hypocritical on what needs to happen for climate action. They're also not centering communities and human rights in all of this too. And they are allowing brown and black communities to become sacrifice zones. And so we want them to keep it in the ground. See this? Ground. You do not need more fossil fuels. The idea is to move away. So let's move away, kick them out. They shouldn't even be at this conference anyway, and we'll just move on.
On your marks, get set and go. Today, at the Formula Fossil racetrack in Glasgow, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has left the gates in spectacular fashion, driving forth with a new Australian future fuels strategy and securing a third second place for Australia in Fossil of the Day at COP26. Around the track in Glasgow it goes, and let's unpack what's under the hood. Oh, it's another strategy document from Scott Morrison. Gee, there's a man who knows how to be sexy. But somehow, it manages to pack another light load, something ScoMo is only too familiar with. Look at that. That carburetor is basically a celebration of the Australian love of the fossil fuel four-wheeled beast. When it comes to electric vehicles, this plan has no new tax breaks, no sales targets, no subsidies, no incentives to increase Australian consumer electric vehicle choice. It's Australia running on lack of substance yet again. Worst of all, there are no improvements to air pollution or fossil fuel standards. And now that's the worst in the OECD. That's bad news for the lungs of the humble Australians gathered around the racetrack today, and it also means that Australia remains the dumping ground for the world's dirtiest cars. With the PM putting pedal to the floor in this policy, it all but ensures that transport will overtake electricity as the biggest source of Australian emissions in the coming years. This is Climate Action Network Australia reporting to you live from the track in Glasgow.